Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Hey Jason, I'm a big fan here. I love hearing that. Since I finally relented and joined Twitter a few months ago, I found all sorts of goodies to enjoy. Your site, Gay Daily Hot, and Shut Up Jason blogs being two of my favorites. I'm really glad to hear that. And on the subject of the Shut Up Jasons, if you read Gay Daily Hot, you know that I was recently hired by Titan. I'm going to be directing for them, and I'm really excited about that. And I've actually got another project in the works that I can't really divulge just yet, but it's going to mean more Shut Up Jasons and a whole lot more, and they're going to be better. So there's something really cool brewing, and I'm working with a lot of studios that are it's going to be, you will understand why I've been a little hands-off lately. Anyway, he continues. I have a situation I'd like your opinion on. I currently live in Kentucky. I grew up here and I returned 2 years ago after living all over the US and Europe. I've been out for about 15 years and I live my life in the open, but since moving back to a small town in Kentucky, I have come across some bigoted homophobia. Not as much as you'd think, surprisingly enough. Specifically, my neighbor is a churchy homophobic bigot and a real asshole. And aren't they always churchy? All, like, you know, like the only homophobes left, it seems, are the churchy ones. Okay. Last week, after thoughtlessly putting a small pride sticker on my bumper, I found the next day that all my tires had been flattened. Since then, my car has been keyed and my mailbox egged. I'm not certain my dickhead neighbor is responsible, but he's the only one who's dared to say anything about my being gay. I was polite then, if slightly condescending. Should I take the high road and let karma take over, or should I continue and confront him now that I'm seriously pissed? I prefer peace, but I'm not going to put up with shit like that, and you never should. But no to both questions. You do not roll over and lie down in the ditch and wait for them to come and get you, but you also do not take life into your own hands, because quite honestly, this guy is clearly unhinged, and you know, violence runs thick with the churchy ones, unfortunately. It seems like more of a Christian you are, the more likely you are to, you know, resort to violence, unfortunately. In my personal experience. The reason that we pay taxes and the reason that we're all socialistic and shit like that is because there's cops, and when you've got somebody who's doing thousands of dollars worth of damage to your lawn or your property, you don't take matters into your own hands, and you don't lie to, you call the cops and have them deal with it. I will suggest, by the way, installing one of those motion sensor cameras, security cameras with night vision, because clearly you got a problem, and you're going to have to deal with it, and you're going to need proof. But he continues. It's not like I'm a small, helpless gay boy. I'm a big bear who works out 5 or 6 days a week, and I admit I can be evil when I need to be. And I just kind of wood it up. I did sneak over last night and piss all over the snowman he and his ugly kids built. He actually says here, piss all over the snowman and his ugly kids, but then I realized this, and I was just, yeah, don't piss on the kids. That is really inappropriate. Unless the kids are like 18 and they ask for it. But even then, don't do it in the front lawn, because, you know, there's probably laws against that in Kentucky. If you want to do that shit, go to San Francisco. They'll, you know, I don't know, they'll give you a free Happy Meal or something. I don't know how that works. It was quite fun. I'd like your opinion on handling homophobia without resorting to violence, because that is a real possibility here, unfortunately. I miss living in a big city where being gay is much easier. It's still a everyday struggle here for some of us. Any advice would be appreciated. Okay, so first of all, you have no proof that this guy did any damage to your property, and he has DNA evidence now that you did. I know that there's not really a whole lot of piss or DNA in piss or something like that, and it's fully sterile and you can drink it and all that kind of thing, but you just know that you can, that's a very bad idea. Yeah, that's a really, really bad idea. Do not take matters into your own hands, because now you've sunk into that level. Here's the thing. We do have to stand up for ourselves, and I'm seeing a whole lot of standing up for ourselves going on right now. And one of the things that I really like is that I've noticed that in mainstream culture, we seem to have just recently, and I'm talking like in the last few months, reached that tipping point, right? Where, let's say 3 years ago, we're going to go through somebody like Joe the plumber, who's that guy whose name isn't Joe and he's not actually a plumber, and he's running for, I don't know, dog catcher or something. And he, apparently they actually do have people running for dog catcher in places. Who knew? But the point is that, you know, like 3 years ago, he said something like, I would never have a gay person near my kids, and was suggesting that, you know, they're all child molesters, or that just being near them is going to be damaging, or I don't know. And he pretty much got away with it. I mean, the mainstream media just kind of shrugged that off, and we in the gay media were mortified, but you know, the straight crowd, they didn't even know. Whereas 3 years later, he's now running for something, and he got called on it on like CNN or something like that. And he kind of lost his shit, because those people aren't really used to us standing up for ourselves. They're not used to us living out in public, which is, of course, one of the reasons why this guy feels so comfortable coming at you, is because a lot of gay men, we do lie down and take it, so to speak. And we've recently started standing up, and they don't really know how to react to that. And just recently we saw a douchebag from the 80s, Kirk Cameron, did the same thing, where he went on, I don't know, Piers Morgan or something like that, and just let this just vicious diatribe go. Just, you know, like, oh, being gay is damaging and dangerous and, like, mortally wounded, God, throw down, smite, demon hand reaching up through the floor. I don't know what he said, but it was like one of those just unbelievable. And then apparently he was just shocked when he got a negative reaction to that, because 3 years ago you could easily say something like that and not actually get that negative reaction. And of course, and we've all heard it, as soon as you stand up to these people, what's the first thing that they say? Oh, I have gay friends, and they support me. Oh, and we heard that from, like, Rick Santorum's skanky-ass daughter as well. Oh, well, I have gay friends. And I love that, it was Dan Savage who said, you know, we're going to have to start actually answering this with, who are these gay friends, and can we speak to them? Because we all know that these gay friends don't actually exist. Kirk Cameron doesn't actually have any gay friends. We hope. And here's the thing. We've just switched over, right? Like, we've reached that tipping point where we are actually standing up for ourselves. We aren't going to take it anymore. And we have to stop being so fucking nice. And we've tried to be nice, and we've tried to meet it with love, and we've tried to, you know, bridge, understand, and they don't, all they do is they take that as a license to walk all over us. Like the cunt from El Coyote, the one who, you know, worked at this gay restaurant. She had gay staff members, and she'd, like, been to their houses and met their families and everything, and still donated money to vote away their marriages. And people were like, well, we have to meet these people with love. And it was like, that bitch worked with gay people, you know, every single day for just about her whole life. And she still saw nothing wrong with donating money to vote them into second-class citizenship. And the reason is because we're so fucking nice. And we gotta stop being so fucking nice. We've got to stand up for ourselves. We have to stop being meek. At the same time, we need to do it legally, and we need to go through the proper channels, and we need to not sink to the level of vandalizing somebody's property because they're vandalizing ours. We need to just take it right to the cops and have them deal with it. Because what he did was illegal, but what you did could probably be considered illegal too. Even if a snowman isn't necessarily damaged, you know, you can probably still be charged for that. So tread lightly, young Padawan. And there you go. We all know that my favorite movies are, you know, like V for Vendetta, Fight Club, The Brave One, you know, all of these movies that are all about, you know, vigilantes and that kind of thing. But in real life, we do have to go through the proper channels, and we pay the same taxes, so we should get the same protections. So my advice is call the cops, have it dealt with, and yeah, don't lie down and take it, but don't escalate. Just deal with it the right way. Jason has spoken. Love you all. Keep asking me questions.